I'm going to welcome you into 5 of the most high-end new residences around KLCC. Suria KLCC and KLCC Park are roughly 800 meters to 900 meters, which is about 10 to 15 minutes on foot, and the penthouse reaches 3,617 square feet, positioned as the pinnacle of the building. Step out of the lobby and KLCC Park is basically your front yard. Without worrying about parking, without sweating outside, you can walk straight to the Pavilion Mall with one of the longest and tallest infinity pools in Malaysia. Luxury means different things to different people. Some people see space as luxury. Some see view as luxury, like light, sun, skyline. For me, real luxury is when location, architect, and lifestyle combine to create something exceptional. And that is why KLCC is still misunderstood internationally. In some global cities, $500,000 doesn't even get you the conversation for a prime address. Not next to the landmark, not in the core, sometimes not even close. But here in Kuala Lumpur, around KLCC, that same budget can place you beside one of Southeast Asia's most iconic skylines, with a lifestyle that feels remarkably accessible for what it is. So today, I'm going to welcome you into 5 of the most high-end new residences around KLCC. We'll be looking into the Conlay, Oxley Tower, Pavilion Square, Orion, and CloutHaus. And here's the key: every single one of these projects is a different kind of luxury. They are not competing on the same definition. One is architecture-led quiet luxury, one is hospitality-led and branded, one is pure brand gravity and ecosystem living, one is boutique exclusivity with a very specific buyer profile, and one is prime address prestige as close as it gets. So don't watch this like a top 5 ranking. Watch this like a collection. 5 different forms of status, 5 different lifestyles. Hi everyone, this is Ray. Welcome back to another episode of the Malaysia Property Market Review series. Alright, let's begin with number 1. If you like luxury that doesn't need to shout, the Conlay is one of the rare KLCC fringe homes that feels quietly powerful. This is not the kind of address you buy to impress strangers. This is the kind you buy because it feels private, controlled, and timeless. The Conlay sits at 29 Jalan Conlay, right where Jalan Conlay meets Jalan Kia Pang, inside the KLCC, Bukit Bintang, and TRX triangle. This is not just city centre, this is the part of KL where luxury becomes walkable. And the biggest advantage is the MRT. You are directly adjacent to the Conlay MRT station. In KL City Centre, that changes everything because traffic is congested and parking is a daily negotiation. So the real luxury isn't forcing yourself to drive everywhere. It's having the option to take public transport whenever you want. From here, your daily movement becomes simple. Pavilion KL is roughly 1 to 1.1 km, around a 10 to 15 minutes walk depending on the road. That also puts Star Hill, Fahrenheit, Lot 10, the entire Bukit Bintang belt inside your daily orbit. Suria KLCC and KLCC Park are roughly 800 meters to 900 meters, which is about 10 to 15 minutes on foot depending on how you connect through the links. And by train, you are effectively one stop to TRX and one stop to KLCC East, so you're plugged into 2 of KL's strongest gravity zone without needing a car. Prince Court Medical Centre is roughly 250 meters away, so healthcare becomes a short walk, not a cross-town trip. There's also a cultural layer people don't always expect in such a modern district. Nearby heritage elements like Rumah Penghulu Abu Siman give the area more character than a typical CBD grid. But in practical lifestyle anchors like groceries and craft or cultural spots, and what you get is convenience, authenticity, and privilege, compressed into a very compact radius. Now, let's talk about the project itself. The Conlay is a luxury high-rise development on about 1.44 acres of prime freehold land with 491 units across residences and service suites. It's not designed as mass luxury. It's positioned as a managed lifestyle product where the building experience is part of what you're buying. And that's why people who like the Conlay really like it, because it's not loud luxury, it feels calm. Developer is the Eastern and Oriental E&O. They're not known for chasing volumes. They are known for building lifestyle addresses that feels curated with a strong hospitality discipline behind the product. So when E&O does a KL French home, the intention is clear. This is meant to feel less like a typical condo tower and more like a private residence with hotel level standards. Now, the part that makes the Conlay truly high-end. This project is designed by Carey Hill Architects, known for a calm, resort-grade language, what people call quiet luxury. The concept behind the design is essentially a modern, tropical urban resort. A home that lowers your heartbeat the moment you arrive. Even the tower form has intention, designed to capture different views and create a more sculpted skyline presence rather than just being another glass box. The flex isn't the marble. The flex is the restraint, what they choose to remove. Another reason buyer likes it is that it comes fully furnished and fully fitted. Now let's talk layout sizing. From 1 bedroom 743 square feet to 3 bedroom 1335 square feet. And yes, there's also a penthouse tier. At the top end, the penthouse reaches 3617 square feet, positioned as the pinnacle of the building in a 3+1 bedroom penthouse configuration. This is the version of the Conlay that isn't about condo living. It's about owning a private sky residence in Carey Hill's quiet luxury language. Space, light, and view coming together without anything feeling excessive. Overall, the Conlay is for buyers who want KLCC without the chaos, a private resort-like home in one of the most valuable pockets of the city. Now let's move to Oxley Tower, because that's a completely different kind of luxury. Less architecture-led, more hospitality-led. Now, if the Conlay is architect-led, quiet luxury, Oxley is hotel-led, branded prestige. Oxley Tower rises on about 3.11 acres of prime freehold land along the Jalan Ampang, positioned right beside the KLCC core, within walking distance to the Petronas Twin Tower and directly next to the KLCC Park. Now here's the part that makes Oxley's location feel special in real life. Step out of the lobby and KLCC Park is basically your front yard. Not a park somewhere nearby, not drive there on weekends, walk out, cross over, and within minutes, you're inside 50 acres of the most iconic green lunk in KL. Jogging tracks, shaded path, water features, and that calm open space that makes the city feels breathable. In KLCC, you're surrounded by glass, concrete, meetings, noise. Having a park at your doorstep isn't a luxury extra, it's a daily balance. You get to enjoy morning run without planning, evening walk without traffic, a place to clear your head after a long day without needing to go somewhere else. For families, it's where weekends happen naturally. For city owners, it's where KLCC stops feeling like a business district and starts feeling like a lifestyle district. That kind of advantage doesn't age. You can upgrade an interior anytime, but you can't recreate KLCC Park outside of your doorstep. Now, let's talk about what Oxley Tower actually is. This is a landmark mixed-use development with multiple towers linked by a retail podium. But the key is how it's designed as a branded hospitality ecosystem, meaning you're not living in a condo that happens to be luxury. You're living in an address that runs with hotel discipline. So day to day, the lifestyle feels different. You have concierge service, handling arrivals, deliveries, and the small logistics that normally waste your time. You have valet doorman style convenience, the kind where coming home feels like being received, not just entering a building. You have housekeeping options, so your KL home stays immaculate even when you're traveling or busy. and you have the hotel rhythm where maintenance, support and service response is fast, discreet and predictable. In this tier, luxury isn't the marble. Luxury is when your life feels handled quietly, professionally, without frictions. Now let's go into the spec, because this is where Oxley separates itself. Oxley is positioned as a dual brand residence ecosystem. Seoul KL Residence in one tower and Johor Residence in another tower. For Seoul KL Residence, you are looking at 1+1 bedroom, 800 over square feet, all the way to a penthouse duplex ranging from 1,000 to 3,000 square feet at the top of the building. It's positioned as private sky residences for owners who want skill and KLCC frontage. This isn't built for a big family. It's built for global owners, prestige, service, park proximity, and the brand rarity. The kind of purchase that functions as a KL base, a statement, and a lifestyle upgrade. Now, let's talk pricing. Prices typically start from around 1.7 mil to 2.5 mil, and in this bracket, the story isn't cheap. The story is global branded rarity in a prime KLCC postcode, still unusually accessible versus other world cities. So overall, Oxley Tower is for buyers who wants KLCC's prestige with hospitality DNA, a residence that feels like a 5-star ecosystem anchored by the one thing you can never replicate, the KLCC Park at your doorstep. I've compiled an easy-to-read ebook covering 21 most popular projects in KL City, including the layout sizes, price range, maintenance fee, and project highlights. If you want to compare them side by side, you can check out the link in the description below. Now let's move on to Pavilion Square, because that's a completely different kind of prestige. Less park-led and hospitality-led, more brand gravity, retail ecosystem, and Bukit Bintang energy. So Pavilion Square isn't trying to win by shouting luxury facilities. It wins with something stronger, a lifestyle that's already curated for you. Pavilion Square is a leasehold integrated development by Pavilion Group, targeted for completion around 2029. Sizes generally start from around 500 square feet going up to 1,200 square feet range, with price typically positioned from 1.6 mil all the way to 2 million ringgit depending on the type and facing. But let me tell you what you're really buying here. You are buying the kind of KL home where the moment you land in the city, you don't plan your lifestyle, you just live it. Pavilion Square is planned to be directly connected to Pavilion Bukit Bintang via a covered link bridge. Now this is where it becomes different from most prime condos, because when you're staying in Bukit Bintang, the worst part is not distance, it's friction, traffic, parking, rain, heat, crowds. Everything becomes a small tax, even a simple dinner. But here, you step out, cross over, and you're inside Pavilion Mall. So imagine this as your KL routine. You arrive in KL for a few days, you drop your bags, you freshen up, and within minutes, without calling a driver, without worrying about parking, without sweating outside, you can walk straight to the Pavilion Mall. Dine with friends, pick a restaurant last minute, go for dessert after, do some luxury shopping, grab a gift, and walk home, rain or shine. And that's the real luxury. You don't need to make arrangements. Your address does the work for you. This is integrated living, the kind that makes you feel like KL is functioning around you. And Pavilion is one of Malaysia's most internationally recognized luxury lifestyle names. And in prime real estate, brand is trust, brand is status, brand is instant recognition. Because Pavilion Link address is a phrase that already carries meaning. You don't need to explain it. That's why this kind of product attracts high-end buyers, locals, overseas Malaysians, and foreigners. People who want a KL base that feels effortless, safe, and premium the moment they step in. Now, here's where Pavilion Square upgrades the story from Pavilion Suites and Pavilion Residences. It's not just another Pavilion Link project. It's positioned as a more modern, more lifestyle-forward version of the ecosystem. And here's the highlight. It's marketed with one of the longest and tallest infinity pools in Malaysia. But the point isn't infinity pool. It's what you see while you're there. you are looking out towards the TRX and the Merdeka 118, the symbols of modern KL. So it feels like you are floating above the city with the skyline as your back door. And then the gym. Most condo gyms are in a room. Here, it's positioned as a full-floor gym, a whole level dedicated to wellness with the same skyline energy. That's not a common decision in prime land economics. Giving up that much space tells you the intention. This is meant to feel like a private members club, not a standard residential facility deck. Now, at the strategic layers, after Pavilion Residences and Pavilion Suites, Pavilion Square is positioned as one of the last residential opportunities directly linked to Pavilion Mall. So if you missed the earlier Pavilion Link launches, this may be one of the final chances to secure a Pavilion connected home in the heart of Bukit Bintang. And in the top bracket, value isn't always about new, it's about replaceability. If something cannot be recreated later, it behaves differently over time. And there's also a rare angle, the Pavilion Square office suites. In the KLCC core, owning a prime office unit is not as common as people assume. For business owners and operators, this becomes a different proposition. You are not just buying a home, you are buying an ecosystem where you can live, host meeting, dine, and operate, all inside a Pavilion branded district. Next, let's talk about Orion Residence, a freehold luxury service residence in the heart of Bukit Bintang. This is not a big size luxury product. This is a city core luxury designed for people who want the best of KL within walking distance and who value privacy, speed, and control. Orion sits in one of the most strategic pockets of the city, right inside the Golden Triangle belt. Here's the reality: KL city center's traffic is congested. Even if you have money, you can't buy your time back if you're stuck looking for parking in Bukit Bintang. That's why this location works. It gives you options. Some days you drive, but on peak hours, you can just walk or take public transport. You're positioned within easy reach of the Pavilion Mall, Star Hill, the Bukit Bintang retail belt, the TRX, financial and business ecosystem, and the broader Golden Triangle lifestyle zone. Orion has two only in this tier punches that instantly tell you who this product is built for. Firstly, a Rolls-Royce chauffeur service for residents. Secondly, high security private vaults on level 7. This is one of those features you don't appreciate until you live a certain lifestyle. Watches, jewelry, important documents, collectibles, you don't want them hidden somewhere at home. You want them secured discreetly inside the building, like a private extension of your residence. That's the Orion positioning, not just a home, a city lifestyle system for people who value privacy, convenience, and control. Orion is positioned as a fully furnished luxury suite product, which means this is designed for buyers who don't want to spend 6 months sourcing furniture, coordinating contractors, and dealing with delays. You want to land in KL and the home already feels complete. In this tier, convenient isn't a bonus, it's part of the lifestyle you are paying for. Now, let's talk about layout. Sizes here ranging from 495 square feet, a studio unit. Then we also have a 2-bedroom layout of 680 square feet up to 1000 square feet depending on type. You also have a 3-bedroom unit with size reaching 1329 square feet. So if your definition of luxury is huge internal space, Orion isn't competing there. Orion luxury is address, finish, and experience. Price-wise, Orion sits on a premium brand because it's selling a very specific lifestyle. Smaller unit starts at around 1.3 mil all the way to 3.8 million, depending on the size, finishing package, and the view. Next, let's look at the CloutHaus, a project by TA Global. This is positioned as a freehold, ultra-prime KLCC address with expected completion around Q1 2029. Now, let's get the hot specs out clearly. Unit size ranges from 549 square feet all the way to 1216 square feet. Pricing is currently positioned roughly between 1.5 mil to 3.2 million depending on layout, floor, and the view. But in this bracket, the unit isn't the headline, the address is. CloutHaus is built for a very different specific lifestyle, the KLCC core as your everyday zone. your meetings, your hotels, your dining and city lifestyle, they are not a drive away. They are within the same neighborhood radius. And in Kuala Lumpur, that matters because the city core has a real cost. Traffic, parking, delays, and the constant friction of getting from one place to another. So the real flex isn't just proximity, it's effortless access. This isn't near KLCC, this is living inside KLCC. Now, here's what makes CloutHaus feel different from a typical prime condo. It's not just location, it's the fact that the residence is designed to run with hotel-like operators. Because for this buyer profile, the real luxury isn't more facilities, it's less friction. So instead of you managing the small annoyances of city living, the building is designed to handle it. You have 24 hours concierge and security, not just for safety but for control. Arrivals, parcels, day-to-day requests handled discreetly. Even airport transfer are built into the concept, meaning the project understands exactly who it's targeting. Owners who fly in and out and want their KL home to feel ready the moment they arrive. In this tier, luxury isn't a longer facility list. Luxury is when your life feels handled quietly, professionally, without friction. So, CloutHaus isn't trying to be another luxury tower with a nice lobby. It's selling a very specific lifestyle, a KLCC base that feels private, polished, and operationally smooth. You fly into KL, you check in without stress, your movement is effortless, and the city becomes something you enjoy, not something you fight. I've compiled an easy-to-read ebook covering 21 most popular projects in KL City, including the layout sizes, price range, maintenance fee, and project highlights. If you want to compare them side by side, you can check out the link in the description below. This is not loud luxury, this is operational luxury. Built around time, privacy, and control. If you are buying in the KLCC bracket, you are not buying a unit. You are choosing a version of Kuala Lumpur you want to live inside. Because every one of these 5 addresses is a different definition of luxury. The Conlay is quiet, architectural, and composed. Oxley Tower is branded hospitality with parkfront living. Pavilion Square is a pure ecosystem where your lifestyle is literally linked to the city's most powerful luxury mall. Orion is boutique, targeted, and designed for buyers who value privacy and a very specific kind of service. CloutHaus is operational prestige, a KLCC base that runs with a 5-star routine. And this is the key takeaway. In the high end, the biggest mistake isn't paying too much. It's buying the wrong type of luxury for your lifestyle. So don't ask which one is the best. Ask this instead. Which one matches how you actually live? Do you want quiet and timeless? Do you want branded and serviced? Do you want retail connected and always on? Do you want a discreet city base with VIP level convenience? Or do you want the closest thing to KLCC's prestige you can still secure today? Because when you choose the right one, it stops being a purchase. It becomes a personal statement and a base you will keep reaching for. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you like this video, feel free to hit the like and subscribe button. It will motivate me to create more contents like this for you. Until we meet again, ciao!